Hello, welcome back to Just Smell Better, the best fragrance channel in the world. I own 15 Game of Spades fragrances. Let's rank them from worst to best. I don't know how I ended up here, I'll be honest. I'm not even the biggest fan of the Game of Spades brand, but they keep releasing new colognes like every month, and I gotta catch up. I gotta collect them all. To understand how the rankings are gonna work, I'm gonna compare these Game of Spades fragrances to each other and not to other colognes from other brands. It's just gonna be based on smell. Which one do I like the most? Which one performs the best, and which one do I wear the most? Because usually I would hate on something like Game of Spades bonus because there's better Pacific Chill clones out there, but for this one it's gonna be just based on the Game of Spades brand. So without further ado, let's start ranking from worst to best. Let's start with some that I don't even own because they are so bad. First of all, Game of Spades Bid. I bought it, it smelled like pickles, never wore it, but luckily I sampled my entire bottle. You guys sampled it all, and I didn't repurchase because it smelled pretty bad. Game of Spades Rouge, I've tried it. I got a little sample and it gave me a huge headache. Not a fan of that DNA at all. Never gonna buy a full bottle. Now finally, number 15 in my collection, we got Game of Spades Moon, which is sad because it is a pretty cool bottle, but the smell is not cool at all. Inspired by Bond Number 9 New York Nights, which is a really popular cologne because of some streamer. It was hyped up to be like a caramelized popcorn type of scent, and it does try to replicate that, but to me this smells more like burnt popcorn. It smells like you cooked it too much in the microwave. It smells pretty smoky. To me, this is not like the gourmand, like edible dessert type of DNA that people describe Bond Number 9 New York Nights to be. I find this to be unwearable, man. I can't pull it off. I can't wear it. I don't even like the smell of it, like to sniff from the bottle. It's pretty bad. I'm never gonna wear it. I regret buying this cologne, like for sure. In the number 14, we got Game of Spades Royale, inspired by Bond Number 9 Tribeca. I don't know if Bond Number 9s just suck, honestly. Like, I don't know if they genuinely suck and they actually like copied it one-to-one, or if Game of Spades is just doing a horrible job cloning these fragrances. This one to me smells a little bit more caramelized, man. It's a little bit more on the sweeter side. It smells like a gourmand edible piece of cake with some caramel and a little bit of fruitiness in there, maybe some raspberry, but still not for me, man. Maybe I'm just not the biggest fan of this DNA. This is a way bigger improvement from this one, so I'm gonna give it its props, but I never wear it because I'm just not the biggest fan of this type of smell. In the 13th place, we got Game of Spades Win, another one that was really popular by, I think this one was Drewski, because it is inspired by Bond Number 9 Greenwich Village. Another Bond Number 9, bro. They started off just copying Bond Number 9 like crazy, but at first, I'll be honest, I was a big fan of this one because it does smell good. I'm gonna give it that, bro. It smells pretty good. Extremely floral and fruity at the same time. Mainly floral though. Like you spray this and it smells like you just like crushed a bunch of petals. It smells pretty good, man. Some air freshener type of vibe, but it is pretty synthetic. It can come across as cheaply made. It causes me a huge headache because of how strong beast mode and synthetic it is. And with all the florals, it does lean on the feminine side too, so it's just too many drawbacks for me to put it higher up. It smells good, but I just can't handle it, man. And maybe it's just not for me. Maybe some of you guys might love it. Maybe I'm just not built for it. In the number 12, we got Game of Spades Boston, inspired by Bond Number 9 Scent a Piece for Him. Now we're getting to the better side of the Game of Spades fragrances. This is more of a pineapple, citrusy, manly scent. Not bad at all, not bad at all. People say it smells like Credabensis just because it has the pineapple, but this one I feel, even though it is masculine, it leans more on the youthful side compared to the extremely smoky, citrusy Credabensis. This is more of a smooth, clean pineapple. Pretty nice, good for the gym. Performance is kind of mid, it could be better, but I find it to be a little bit boring compared to all the other Game of Spades fragrances. So for that reason, it's gonna be in the number 12. In the number 11, we got Game of Spades Jackpot. Game of Spades Jackpot replicates or is inspired by Mancera Instant Crush. Surprisingly, I've never smelled the real Mancera Instant Crush. I've just never had the chance to buy it, but if it smells like this, Smells pretty nice, man. Smells pretty nice. At first, I thought it was more of a winter fragrance because it does have a little bit of maybe amber in there. It is pretty spicy, but then you get a little bit of freshness. I can wear this one in the fall, in the spring, in the winter. Maybe it can be a little bit too strong for the summer, but definitely mostly all year round. Mancera Instant Crush is just really popular for getting you compliments. You know, it's supposed to make girls have an instant crush on you, and I can kind of see that. It is pretty mass appealing. When I go to USPS a lot to deliver my sampling packages for you guys, and this one time this really nice old lady, she smelled it and she complimented me. She said it smelled really good. She said it smelled really good, and for that reason, since I got a compliment, which is pretty rare, it moves up a few places. Mancera, Game of Spades Jackpot on the 11th spot. In the number 10, we got Game of Spades King. Now this one is inspired by Surshov Herba Pura, and when I smelt it, I was so surprised because people are really like on and on about how bad Herba Pura smells, or how like sweet and feminine and fruity it smells. But when I smelt this one, I didn't get that at all. I did not get that at all. It is not annoying. It is not extremely sweet. It is a little bit fruity though, but I can handle it. To me, this is a less synthetic, less harsher version of Game of Spades Win. Keeps the same similar florals fruitiness, but it just tones it down a little bit. It gets rid of that beast mode performance. It doesn't cloy you like this one. To me, this is way more wearable. I took it to the gym. I was pretty impressed. It did last a pretty good time too. So if you want a nice fruity sweet scent that does not annoy you, Game of Spades King is a good option. In the number 9, we got Game of Spades Emerald, which is pretty surprising when I was ranking these, because I thought this one was going to be a little bit higher. But if I'm going to be honest, I kind of got tired of this type of smell. I'm not going to lie, man. Maybe it was because it was brand new and I was wearing it a lot and I was trying it out and I really liked it, but I'm kind of getting annoyed of it now. It still smells really good, man. Inspired by Louis Vuitton Symphony, which is extremely overpriced and, dare I say, a little bit overhyped, but I was part of that hype too, and now I'm kind of tired of it. It could lean feminine. If I could describe this in a few words, it is sweet, fruity, and juicy. It feels like you just squeezed a bunch of citruses together and just mixed it into this. It's pretty good, but I'm kind of getting tired of this, so in the number 9 it goes. In the number 8, we got the brand new Game of Spades Topaz. This is inspired by Initial Must Therapy, which is finally like a different brand other than Louis Vuitton and Bond Number 9. When I did my first impressions, I was really impressed, and I still am, because somehow it smells extremely clean. It smells pretty smooth and pretty nice. Citruses, lavender, and musk are the main notes, I believe. Super duper clean, an alternative to fragrances like Prada Cologne, which are just meant to keep you smelling clean. And so I'm still really impressed with this one, but I took it for Thanksgiving and it smelled a little bit feminine, so for that reason I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. If it was a masculine cleanness, I would be like, I'll put this in like top 4, top 3. I do think it's unisex, but sadly it does lean a little bit feminine, so for that reason I'm gonna give it number 8. In the number 7, I got Game of Spades Bonus, inspired by Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill. And honestly, again, another DNA that I'm kind of tired of. I used to be such a huge fan of Pacific Chill. It used to be my favorite like Louis Vuitton, even though like every Louis Vuitton kind of sucks. But I'm kind of tired of that like prominent apricot note. I don't know if it's fig or apricot. I believe it is apricot, but it's just, like I'm kind of tired of it, man. It's still pretty nice. I still wear it quite a bit, but I find there to be better options nowadays. Still really mass appealing though. My friend came over for my birthday and he smelled this one and he liked this, so still pretty good. In the number 8. In the number 7, I mean number 7. In the number 6, I'm gonna give it to Game of Spades Full House. My first ever Game of Spades, the one that started it all. And I actually got this last year for Christmas, so that's pretty cool, man, to see how my collection has grown in 1 year. Inspired by Louis Vuitton Imagination, It smells extremely clean, man, extremely soapy. Even though I hate on this DNA so much for being overhyped and overpriced, somehow it still beats all of these, so props to imagination. Such a clean green tea note in there, just smells like the most expensive laundry, the most expensive soap I mean, which you just did your laundry with. So really clean, perfect for the gym. It does go away in a few hours though, so that's why I only use it in the gym. Other than that, still not my favorite, so I'm still gonna continue to hate on it, but hey man, number 6 is not bad. And then number 5, I got Game of Spades High Roller. Inspired by Credabensis or Credabensis Absolute, one of those. This is where the way I rank these comes into play, because if I was ranking this normally, I would say that like Club in the Red Intense Man is better than this, so I would put this somewhere down here. But if we're comparing with just Game of Spades fragrances, this smells better than all of these, and it performs pretty good too, man. This DNA just performs and lasts all day. Pure bergamot, I swear, man. Pure bergamot, a little bit smoky, but not as smoky as Club in the Red Intense Man. I just enjoyed this DNA so much in the gym. It is just so clean but masculine at the same time. One of my favorites for the gym. So Game of Spades High Roller, that Credabensis DNA, it just has to be in the number 5. In the number 4, I gotta give it to Game of Spades Diamond, inspired by Killian Angel Share. Finally, we have like a darker type of smell in all of these fragrances. I mean, these two were kind of dark, but they just suck, bro. They suck so much. So Game of Spades Diamond is this sweet apple pie DNA. If you smell by Killian Angel Share, you know how it smells like, man. You know it's like almost a masterpiece. And so if you clone it pretty well for around $60, I'm gonna put you pretty high up. One of the best date night fragrances, one of the best cologne date night fragrances. It just smells so good. I do get kind of tired of the sweet type of colognes, the vanilla type of cologne, so that's why it is not like number 1, but I still enjoy it so much. Game of Spades Diamond, one of the best by Killian Angel Share clones out there. In the number 3, we got the brand new Game of Spades Double Bonus. Again, I prefer Collage Shaka Snow for my Louis Vuitton Meteor clone, but I just love that DNA so much that it genuinely smells better than all of these, and I would rather wear this one than most of these, so that's why it's in number 3. I tested it out and it did perform a little bit less than Collage, which, you know, which it's gonna come into play in other videos, but it still performed pretty good. Same smell, same, like, so clean, smooth, smells a little bit like baby wipes, so maybe a lot of you guys might not like that, but I like that, man. It's just so clean, like a masculine cleanness too, not a feminine one, a masculine cleanness. Honestly, smells pretty similar to Game of Spades Bonus, but without that apricot note, so that's why I like it a little bit more. Game of Spades Double Bonus in the 3rd spot. In 2nd place, I'm gonna give it to an underrated one. We got Game of Spades No Limit. I always forget what this one clones, but I believe it is Mason Francis Kurchon. I forget what it's called, man. I think it's Amri's Homme Extra de Parfum, something like that. It clones an MFK fragrance, which again, pretty unique. I genuinely don't know how to describe it, man. It just smells masculine. You know, it's like this, like out the shower, masculine, fresh, maybe a little bit powdery, but not as powdery as something like Double Bonus, not as powdery as Game of Spades Topaz. It is just a little bit more citruses in there. So good, man, so good. I feel like this one's the best one for just men who want to smell clean, you know, like those guys who want to smell masculine. Most of these can be pretty fruity, pretty young, so this one's the most appealing to masculine men who just want to smell clean, like a basic aftershave / cologne. And in my number 1, we still have Game of Spades Wildcard. This one for some reason just stays number 1, man. I don't know why I like it so much. People say that the orange blossom smells too annoying for them, but to me it's like the main notes, and that's why I like it. Game of Spades Wildcard, inspired by Bond Number 9 Lafayette Street, which finally we got a good Bond Number 9 fragrance in here. Maybe I like it because it does have a prominent note of ambroxan in there, maybe a little bit of iris too, which I do enjoy quite a bit. Again, it smells powdery, a little bit like makeup, maybe a little bit like Rayhan Obsidian too, but like a fresher take on that one. Genuinely, like, so mass appealing. My mom absolutely loved this one too. She has a bottle for herself, so it is a unisex fragrance that just smells good. for mostly everyone. Again, some people don't like it, but to me, I like it quite a bit. I mean, a lot of it is my number one among 15 other fragrances. So yeah, this is my list, my ranking. Finally, I do a Game of Spades ranking video. I've been collecting them silently, little by little, and now I got 15, bro. I don't know how that happened. Let me know your favorite Game of Spades fragrance. You can sample all of these and more on my sampling website, smellbettersamples.com. Thank you very much. You can follow me on TikTok. Thank you for watching. Just smell better.